Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint on a Thursday, because that's how we roll. As you know, it's international break. England are playing tomorrow night, so we thought we'd do this on a Thursday night. So get your beers, put your favourite TV programme on record, and join us for the next couple of hours. Your weekend starts here. Graham is giving you permission to have the day off of work tomorrow. So technically, it is a Friday night. Boys,
if your boss says anything, just tell him I said it was all right.
How you doing?
That'll go down well.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah, all good, all good.
You all got a drink?
No, I haven't. You know, I haven't. I've just been trying to edit this bloody video for this nightmare.
Drinking on a school night. Great, we ain't done this for ages, mate. It's like going back to Time and Envy on Thursday nights.
That's it. Well, that's going back some years, isn't it?
Or in your days, it was what would it have been? Hollywoods.
What was there? There was Brannigan's, Hollywoods. Time and Envy. Was it the other one? Was it Secrets?
No, I don't know. But listen, there's been usually we were saying this in the group chat earlier yesterday that usually in international break it's quiet. Nothing really happens in the West Ham world. Well, do you know what? I'm glad we're doing this show a day earlier because I don't think I could have waited for tomorrow night. Obviously, the big news that everyone is talking about worldwide is that West Ham are massive. No, I'm only joking. We have got a new investor.
Listen, you can't say we're massive, right? Some people
I thought the big news was us getting kicked out of the Papa John's trophy. Sorry.
Daniel Kretinsky, is it? Kretinsky? I've got to get used to saying that. He's purchased 27% of the club, the Czech billionaire. Dan, you done a video on it yesterday, mate. So you can open up tonight and talk about it. Let's have a little discussion about this. First of all, hello to everyone in the chat and everyone watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Thanks for joining us. We will come to you in a minute. But go on, Dan.
Yeah, no. So he's invested 27% into the club. He's got 27% shares, making him the second largest shareholder behind Sullivan, who's taken a big dip. He's gone from 51 down to 38% shareholder, which is a big surprise. And Gold has lost about 7% in his shareholding. So it really changes up the makeup of the club and how much power there is. And in theory, Gold and Kretinsky could now outvote Sullivan. It's possible to outvote Sullivan. It's huge and very exciting stuff. Like I said, just having that extra money if Moyes needs it in January as well. And we'll just have to see how he goes, isn't it? How he works out. Some people in some Czech Republic, and this is what I was saying. My video stuff. I've had some people from the Czech Republic going, "Oh, he did this with Sparta Prague, and he did that, and they've not been as good, and he's not running well." And I don't think that's an indicator 100% of looking at what he's done there, because the thing is, apparently he likes to get his people in charge. He likes to interfere a lot, and hopefully because he's come into a club now where Moyes has really got it run well. He's really got a nice steady ship, and he don't need a lot of interference. He just put the money in, and hopefully things will be different. So, like I said, exciting, but big news is Sullivan's shares are less, and yeah, he's second highest shareholder.
Yeah, David Sullivan owns 38.8%. Kretinsky 27%. David Gold 25.1%. Albert Tripp Smith. I love it when they put his name in the middle. Tripp 8%, and other investors 1.1%. So yeah, it's a massive move for the football club, and the title says, "Is this the end for sort of Gold and Sullivan?" And I think this is one step towards them leaving the football club in the near future. Scott, what's your thoughts, mate?
Well, no, it's good to have more investment. It's good to see that they've let someone take that major stakehold of the club. Tripp Smith's downgraded his investment a bit. He sold, I think, off 2% of his shares. Gold, we always sort of knew would start slowly manoeuvring his way out the door due to his age and probably declining health. And yeah, Sullivan giving it up. It's a good thing. Investment coming in is a good thing. Hopefully now with another mouthpiece on the board, someone who can sort of add to it, someone who could do something a little bit different. maybe different ideas and going forward. But the thing I like that he's come on now, he can get a feel with the club. He can get a feel with what Moyes is doing, because that reputation of him trying to get his own people involved and trying to interfere, that is something we don't want at the moment, with everything moving in the right direction of, the clubs. We're on the up. We're on the crest of a wave at the minute. We just got to keep going, and we don't need anyone interfering. So hopefully that he's going to come in. He's going to see how sort of things are run. See Moyes is doing a good job, and just let us crack on and let Moyes carry on doing what he's doing.
Graham, you happy, mate?
Like I say, as long as it doesn't, as Scott says, as long as it doesn't sort of disrupt the flow we've got at the moment. But I think in Moyes we've got a manager who won't, he won't put up with any interfering from above. He's got everything running smoothly at the minute. So hopefully it'll just be carry on business as normal on the pitch, like with the management team and everything, and a bit more investment in the team and the facilities come January and the end of the season.
Looking at the we've moved into the top 6 in the Premier League rich list of owners. We've moved above Manchester United and Tottenham. I was surprised with the Man United one, to be fair. But, the difference West Ham, 4.5 billion, then Villa, 5.3, then Arsenal, 6.35 billion, Chelsea, 9.6 billion, Manchester City, 22.9 billion, and then it's a massive jump. Newcastle, 320 billion. Crazy.
Do you know what else was very telling about the potential of Gold and Sullivan? Maybe, like I said, this being at the end of their time, was the big focus in the article of him coming in and investing to clear the debt. Now, that debt, we owe that to Gold and Sullivan. They keep that debt and they make money off it in interest. So the fact that they could be paying themselves off shows you that, okay, right, let's let the club, we'll pay this debt off, and then that's it. We can leave. So starting to clear that up so they can tie up those loose ends, which is very interesting. I think it's still like £100 million. And the fact that I think it's 150 mil is how much he spent to buy into it, which tells you the rumours about us potentially spending 40-50 mil in January, if need be, is an option. So he might not clear it off all in one go, but good signs for sure.
The thing for me is the 150 million is where that's gone. Is the investment of 150 million gone straight to just buying the shares that he's bought, which, in turn, does that really go into the club? Surely that goes into the pockets of the people he's bought the shares off. Or is there part of the money that buys the shares, part of the money that goes towards debt, part of the money that can go towards the running of the side for this season?
This is the clarity we need, because we don't know, and there's been a lot of debate about this, right? And whether he's bought shares off of someone or more shares have been made available through share dilution. Someone tried to say in the comments of my video that we can't dilute shares at West Ham, and that'd be a load of crap. But yeah, so if we have released more shares, then it's not like Gold and Sullivan have sold their shares, but their shares, and because there's more shares, they have less percentage of the overall shares because there's just more shares available. So if that's the case, then that's very interesting where that money goes. We don't. That's the thing that we don't know.
As fans, all we're really interested in is Moyes going to get backed in January, because there are, it seems like they've sold. There's rumours that he's put the money in the club to wipe the debts. I don't see the point of that, really. Especially if we can push for Champions League or even better this season, maybe win a major trophy. But it's about that. David Moyes has to be backed in January, especially. We're going to talk about Ogbonna in a little while, but it looks like we're going to be needing another centre back at the football club. So it's an interesting time to be a West Ham fan. It's like up and down with the news at the moment. We was on a high after Liverpool, then the Ogbonna news come out, and then obviously the news of the investment. which is massive for the football club. Honestly, it's a great moment, and there's a lot of other fans out there at the moment saying, "Oh, look at West Ham, little old West Ham, let them have their moment." But just ignore them. Let's carry on what we're doing. And the other thing as well that I see a lot of people saying that maybe that this Kretinsky might want to bring in, if he gets full control of the club, that he might want to bring in his own sort of manager or something. But I can't see that happening. I think there's a lot of people just chucking speculation out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be riots over it. If they let Moyes go, there'd be riots.
It'd be usually they sort of bring a manager in when a club's either not doing well or they're not living up to what they want to do. But we're like Graham said, we're performing really well, and I can't see it. Another interesting thing come out is that he wants to do this partnership with Sparta Prague, and us potentially bring in some players from Sparta Prague, so they're like our feeder club, which would be very interesting, especially if we can get some good players at a decent price. That could be really, really positive, especially if we need a striker. And they've got, I forget the name of the striker that they've got who've been linked with, because of a H. Someone in the comments will probably be able to.
But yeah, I mean, I don't usually thank Tottenham Hotspur, but I actually do want to thank Tottenham and all their fans and that, because back in January 2020, when we was linked with a Portuguese midfielder called Fernandes, we was close to signing him, and he ended up joining Tottenham on loan. And they was all laughing at us, saying, "Oh, look, he's rejected West Ham, little old West Ham." And him going to Tottenham meant that we got Thomas Souček.
Yeah.
And then from that, we got Soufal. And now it looks like we've got a billionaire investor. So thank you so much, Tottenham Hotspurs. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And but yeah, it's a great. It was good news to come out of the football club. And do you know what I like about this? The difference between this investment and Pi Capital is that Pi Capital was so out there and they was putting all these people at the front. This has been done sort of behind closed doors, not in the press, not in the public, and it's just bang, it's done. He was at the game on Sunday against Liverpool, which if you could have been at any game to make up your mind whether you wanted to invest in West Ham, it's probably the best game to go to, I reckon, with the atmosphere. And he's seen something in West Ham that, great.
Is he? Did I read somebody like he's mates with Abramovich as well? When you're saying,
is he?
I think,
they're all mates in there. They're all billionaire yacht clubs and things like that.
I wouldn't say mate. He knows him. I wouldn't say like best pal.
Be nice to say, just ditch that plastic club in West London, Abramovich, and come over here like somewhere and come with West Ham. That'd be nice if he could do that. But yeah, no, it's exciting. So like I said, it can only be a good thing, I think. And
I mean, the thing is, with Pi, that was all a bit of a circus, wasn't it? And if it was just no one really knew anything about them, and they were just coming out with all these extravagant claims, and so
bloke coming out.
I'm pleased that we've
talking about how we couldn't we could barely fill Upton Park up and all this crap, and you don't know who's really involved in this. Right? Okay, it's this guy, and he started. I can't remember. It's 18. What is it? 18 something. 18 at 90s holdings or something. 90. So he's partner. I forget what his partner's name is, but his partner's joining the board. Some bloke is on there. So I don't know too much about him, but Kretinsky is the main man. So we'll see in January, won't we? That's going to be the time where we can see how soon, this has an effect, and we can see.
Well, it's interesting as well, because everyone was talking about Newcastle splashing the cash, but apparently there's this rumours that there's the Premier League owners have come together saying there's a say no to Newcastle policy. So basically, they've got to look that lower in the leagues or abroad to get any players in. But then again, money talks.
Yeah,
They
they offered 100 mil for someone. I'm sure they're not going to turn it down.
This ain't going to happen. But say, for instance, if they offered 70 million for Ivan Toney at Brentford, I don't think Brentford are going to turn that down. So,
well, I think there's another thing. They've voted on new changes to the financial fair play, which means that they can't go and just invest, like make up a sponsor and invest that sponsor. You know, you have that sponsor the club. You know, like what Man City did. They can't go and make up a new airline or something and go, right now this airline is the sponsor. You know, it has to be, they have to get proper sponsorship. So they can't do that. So,
but all they'll do is just go and buy some cheap, crappy little airline and then turn
but they can't do that. No, they can't. They can't do that. That's
the thing that makes me laugh with all this, right? It's just pure and utter jealousy. That's all it is. You've got the greedy six, right? And two of them now are no longer big hitters in the greedy six league. And now just jealous because Newcastle's got all this money and they're like, oh, what can we do to stop them becoming such a big power? You know,
but the thing is, mate, you had
it's jealousy.
But the thing is, you had like Man City and Chelsea. I mean, I know Chelsea won a couple of FA Cups and all that before they got their money, but Man City and Chelsea weren't in that group. But now all of a sudden it's like, well, we're in there. We want to stop other teams trying to compete. You know, it's just hypocrisy.
Exactly, mate. Exactly, and that's exactly what it is. This Premier League sides have voted this. You know for a fact there's six chairmen sitting there now. You know, especially two of them who are sitting there absolutely panicking because they're struggling to keep touch with the top six as it is, and you know, it's what it is, just rubbish.
It's like Man City and Chelsea got there and pulled the ladder up behind them and thought, right, we make sure no one else can do this.
Pull up the drawbridge and no one else can get in.
Yeah,
it's
just a joke. It's just an absolute joke.
I won't be crying for Newcastle.
Kretinsky's wife. It's obviously his wife's father, the richest man in the Czech Republic, and I think he died, didn't he? Earlier in the year in a helicopter crash, which is very sad. But yeah, so there might be other investors. I mean, what I would say, I mean, I know we're saying is this the end for Gold and Sullivan, but if we get this investor come in and then in the future another investor wants to come in, but Gold and Sullivan still hold shares and are part of the football club, would you accept that?
I mean, if they're minority, listen, I don't mind if there's like such minority shareholders where it's like a token thing, like they're on the board, but they don't hold any real power. I mean, I don't mind. It's about lately. I mean, they've interfered a lot less. It's to me the big problem is what they've been. They just haven't got the financial capabilities at all to sort of push us forward at the moment. They've sort of kept their noses clean for the most part, but listen, if they stay, and they might do, I think they might keep their kids as little minority board holders and token thing, you know, like Terence Brown, and he's still an honorary.
I think he's got a lot of token, few shares, that type of thing.
But
at the end of the day, you know, if they are, they are. It's you know, a change of ownership. That person then becomes in charge of the club. So, you know, you probably see it quite a lot often that chairmen go out or owners go out, but keep like a little couple of shares in the club, especially if they are supporters of the club, you know, and you know, that's probably what we'll find further down the line. But it's just, you know, so long as this guy coming in's got the right interests in the club, you know, like I said, he's got a lot of money. His girlfriend's family's got a lot of money. It could be a big thing for us, so long as it's all done the correct way. And so far, let's be honest, he's done it the correct way. You know, he kept it all quiet. He come down. He's watched the game. He's met with people. You know, I'm probably sure somewhere along the line there would have been a conversation with Souček or Soufal and Kroll, them type of players. You know, so you know, as I said earlier, we're moving forward, and let's hope that this now is the spearhead by the time we get to January to propel us even further forward.
Yeah, I was having a debate with someone on Twitter, and they were sort of concerned was that Moyes, he was sort of had sort of a worry that Moyes has always done well with limited funds, and that now this bloke's going to sort of upset things. And I don't see it like that. I think Moyes isn't silly, and I don't think the extra money, he's going to start spending silly money on gambles or mediocre players or anything like that. And I don't think, as I said in my video, I don't think we need to splash the massive cash every single window. But if we have that consistent investment when we need it, okay, if one window we might need to get just a £30 million player, say in January, we can get that. And then in the summer, maybe we need a couple of players for 60 mil. It's just that consistent investment. The problem is with Gold and Sullivan, we'd have like one window where we spend a bit, and then we have another window, the next summer we have to really tighten the purse strings, and then it's for the next few windows, and then it's like that. Whereas what we need is over time, as and when he needs a player, he can get his first choice instead of having to go down to second and third because we can't afford the first. So that's to me what I think it's
like you say, Dan. He's never been like, wherever he's been, he hasn't sort of thrown the money about. But one thing Moyes is good at, certainly has been for us, is identifying players that will fit into the way he wants to set up and play. I don't think that will change, but like you say, he'll just be able to now, instead of going, oh well, they put in a derisory bid for so and so, so I've now had to go for second and third choice. He can go for his first choices now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if Moyes sees a striker that he wants and we've got the money there to get him, that's all good for the football club. But as you said, Moyes has never been one of them players that goes and spends a lot of money, especially at his time at West Ham. He's had to identify players that he can pick up at decent prices, and every signing he's picked up so far has worked out. But Scott or Dan, one of you are going to have to control the comments because my mouse has run out of battery, so I can't scroll up and down. So I've put it on charge for a little while. So if you can just jump on and bring some comments up.
Stevie B says,
can we just say thank you to that we had a donation there? Can we?
Oh shit, we didn't even read that out, did we? It was from Gravy. Was it Gravy?
Yeah.
199 Popton. Yeah. Yeah, he's saying that, lads. Boys in Green are playing Portugal. Cheers, Gravy. He's probably left now. So can't watch the Ireland game. But yeah, no. So Stevie B says Moyes has a player template, hard working, honest, no passengers. I think we've got a balance, as well. I think that we've got a little bit of flair, but that hard work, and I think someone like Ben Rama exemplifies that. So, yeah, it is the 95 shirt, mate. It is. Let's see. Any more comments? There's the sexy man. Love you, Graham.
I'll tell you what, Graham.
Make me blush.
You got a lot of compliments on post-match reaction, Gray. Someone even called you George Clooney.
No, they've been drinking. They must have been drinking. At
first, I thought they said Colleen Rooney, but no, it was definitely George Clooney.
Yeah, I did see that.
I said, do you know the couple that did make me chuckle though, when people didn't realise how tall I was.
Yeah, everyone thought you was like, I didn't think that was like that. But
I can say I'm 6 foot, so.
Oh. Lads, for me,
I'm not like Ronnie Corbett, as one said.
Yeah, you're tall, Ronnie Corbett. But yeah, he said, lads, for me, living through the Terry Brown era, you cannot compare SGB to this guy. I've never seen anyone refer to him as SGB rather than a GSB. But it's Terry Brown. He's not a popular guy. Any player that comes in must be well researched and doesn't want to rock a happy boat. The interesting thing, and something that did raise an eyebrow actually as I go through these comments, talking about that, is Moyes' son has been hired to the recruitment team, I believe it is, and under that I think it's Robert Palmer in it or something. But he's on there, and that just I have full faith in Moyes and everything he's done. But that gave me. It reminded me of the what's his name, Hugo thing, and there was a little bit of nepotism in that signing of us going out and signing Hugo. And you think, is he? I mean, look, is his son? He wants to try and help his son out, but is it? The problem is his son qualified, and is his son going to actually bring something to West Ham? I don't know, because I don't know his track record.
I don't think David Moyes would hire him unless he was good at what he does. I mean, the Hugo thing will always stick out in our minds, but I think we're a different club from back then. And I think we also got someone else in as well, didn't we, that used to work for Man City.
That's I think his name's Robert. Is it Robert?
No,
Palmer?
I think it's someone else. There was another person as well. I can't think of his name now.
That's what we were saying, wasn't it, on FMP before, with him coming in working for City and having, a riches of cash to go and spend on a player, what his recruitment will be like with a limited budget. And the thing is, Moyes does do a good job with a limited budget, but like you said, he has the criteria of players that he wants, and just maybe now there might be some players out there that fit the criteria, but were a bit out of our reach financially. And now with this new investment coming in, them players now become available to it.
Georgios Santos, he's a former Manchester City scout.
That's it.
Okay, so getting the scouts, I think because that's when Moyes came in the second time. One of the things he said was, that's an area, the scouting department, is he wanted to overhaul, because he said he was behind everyone in the league, and it looks like that's what he's sort of doing. And that's another thing. What goes back to Kretinsky is he's not just coming over and taking over a club and then having to implement all of these things himself. Like, he's coming in as a part owner with a percentage in the club that is then, in a process of adding all of these things of structure.
I would rather Kretinsky come in as a silent partner and sit back and just learn about the football club and just let it run itself before he gets sort of like too involved.
I think he's doing the right. I think he's doing the right thing. Like I said, it's not an outright takeover, because when you have them outright takeovers, that's when a lot of the time they feel they need to mold the club in their image. He's gonna be a part of the club as we go on this journey, and as he gets more shares and more control, he would have been a part of that process and feel less need to try and remold it and do make all these drastic changes. I think that's good. Shout out to Jamie Havill for a £5 super chat. No comment with it, but thank you very much. Rob Newman, what did I keep calling him?
With scouts coming in, there's a few people in the chat have said Moyes is up there watching the under-21s versus Czech under-21s.
Moyes is at loads of games when West Ham ain't playing.
And the problem is now the problem is for him is he's having to scout people because there's been no one at the club to go and do it. So now we're getting that structure. And this is what we said before with Moyes coming in and Moyes doing well, is the whole structure of the club needed to change. And it's now being implemented. And this is what we want. This is what we were crying out for. As I said, it never. You look at the gripes that we had moving to the London Stadium and things like that, and the gripes that continue to be there. But take away the stadium, the walk to the stadium, and that type of thing. The things that is out of control. The things that were in their control was the way the back room and the way the club was handled. That was the important things to start being sorted out, and they are being sorted out now. Yeah. And it's just coinciding with everything now. We've got a manager in who's like not taking no nonsense, and he's implementing the things that needed to change about the club.
I can't remember whose comment that was, but he was just saying, about Moyes' son being a scout, and no wonder he wanted to improve it. Because his son knows. But I just want to say a positive thing, actually. I said I didn't mention the worry of concerns nepotism, but a positive about Moyes' son coming in and in the scouting department is he'll know what his dad wants more than anyone. He'll know his dad better than anyone, and when he's going out there trying to find players, he will know exactly what Moyes likes in a player, or the sort of player he's looking for. So I don't think it will hurt having someone there in the scouting department that really knows him well, and he can work with, and he feels comfortable with going out there and sending him out. So I think that can be a big positive when it comes to his son.
Definitely. But look, it's great news for the football club. We're moving forward in the right direction. That's the good news. Before we move on to talk about Ogbonna, there was a statement released by the football club and the Premier League regarding the dates for next season because of the World Cup in Qatar. You've seen it?
No,
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
I see that.
The Premier League will start on the 6th of August, obviously 2022. Match round 16 will be the last set of matches played over the weekend of the 12th and 30th of November, ahead of the call-off period for the tournament beginning on the 14th of November. The Premier League will resume on Boxing Day after the World Cup final, which is on Sunday, the 18th of December. And the season will finish on the 28th of May, 2023. So looking at that, I mean, it's not much difference. It just means there's going to be a lot of games played over a short space of time.
Mm. Yeah, just going to cram them in at the end of the season, aren't they? So
That's shit.
Yeah,
The-
it's shit. It is shit.
The annoying thing is that you think we had a season that stopped and then restarted, and then we had to cram all them games in. Then the season started, we had to cram all them games in. Now for us and the other teams that are in Europe, you're cramming games in, and then you think, all right, well then we'll get a break. But now next season's going to be the same. Teams are going to be.
I suppose the good thing is that they've released that now. So clubs and that know now, so you can sort of start planning ahead for it. But
the other thing is as well, you've got to look at the players that are playing internationals. We've got, I think it's the African Cup of Nations this year, isn't there? Or in January. So you lose the African players that are playing in that. You've got the World Cup qualifiers are finishing this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have the playoffs for the qualifiers. Then we're going to start next season, and then we're going to have the qualifiers for the Euros. In amongst all that, the preparation for a World Cup, there's a lot of players going to be playing a lot of games.
I mean, you think particularly African players who are playing the African Nations Cup at the start of the year. So they've got 2 major international tournaments in the space of 12 months, plus a domestic season to get through. They're going to be shattered by the end of it.
Listen, they're paid enough.
You'll see. You're going to see a lot of complaints from a lot of managers from the top.
Jurgen Klopp's already writing a book about it before he started it.
But
you want to be fucking grinding his teeth.
It just worries me because they are paid, and look, these guys are professional athletes, and they're going to want to play. But the fact that they gave Qatar the World Cup, and the fact that they've allowed it to be played mid-season, it's putting players in danger. We know they're paid a huge sum of money, but they've got to be at peak fitness for a long period of time. They ain't going to have a break. These, if you think, if for argument's sake England get to the World Cup final, like you said, you're finishing on the 18th of December. The league starts back up on the 26th of December. No team in the Premier League is going to want some of their best players not playing in that fixture. What rest are these players going to get? It's dangerous, and that just wasn't took into consideration when. Well, it was obviously weren't took into consideration because there was loads of money
taken
passed in little brown envelopes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they still can't get the right people on it. But that's the worrying thing for me. We saw at the previous tournament, what happened to Christian Eriksen, and they're the things that we don't want to see happening to footballers. But keep expecting to play the amount of games they've got to play. We've got to be careful. And that's something for me FIFA really messed up on massively.
Anyway, that's a long time away. We've still got Arsenal, we've still got this season to do yet. But I mean, as we was on such a high after the Liverpool game, and then before news come out about the investment, we had that news about Ogbonna. A massive blow, not only for us as fans and the football club, but Ogbonna himself. It looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. It's a tough injury to get over. I mean, he's 34 years old now, so
he's already had one fairly serious injury in his career as well, hasn't he? So, pretty serious injury as well.
Yeah, it's a shame because he was playing so well this season, one of our best players. I'm absolutely gutted for him, and I hope that it is a speedier recovery and he's back as soon as possible.
Has they had the because they only have to go and see another specialist? Have they come back and said what type of? I know it's an ACL injury, but how bad it is?
I don't think that's been confirmed yet. I think they're only going to keep that in house with a football club. I mean, they've already said that he started his like recovery, like back to fitness. So it's going to be a long road for Ogbonna, and I really feel sorry for him. And it's a loss. It's a loss to the team, a loss to the squad, a loss to the dressing room, and it's difficult for a player. You know, when these players are injured and they see the rest of their teammates out on the pitch training, and they're stuck inside. You know, and they can't join in and they can't go on the get involved. I know. Listen, he can go on away days like with the players, but it's not the same. And it's difficult for Ogbonna, and I really feel for him because he was. It's the best football I've seen Ogbonna play. You know, the last 2 or 3 years, he's been on top form, and his partnership with Zuma was just getting that brick wall at the back. But do you know what? I know I feel sorry for Ogbonna, but I've got confidence in you. Got Dawson, Diop to come in, and also today I've seen we've been linked with Tarkowski from Burnley. Someone said to me yesterday, Phil Jones on loan. I mean, if anyone can get the best out of Phil Jones, it's definitely David Moyes. So, you know, someone as a backup, you know, we just need someone to come in January to replace Ogbonna. But I hope the nice thing with what the football club done with Ogbonna as well, they said that they're going to extend his contract by a year to give him that extra year, which they should do anyway, to be fair. They should see him out the rest of his career at West Ham.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing that shocked me was like the seriousness of the injury was he went back on.
That's
done it. You know,
this is the thing. This is the thing that, you know, it might not be as bad as everyone's saying. So fingers crossed for him. It's not as bad. Then, you know, because these injuries, you could be out for 6 to 8 weeks, up to a year.
See, and that's it. That's what, you know, with Cam Jones's comment there, saying if he's already in recovery, it can't be that bad. Look, you all know I did my ACL. I snapped my ACL completely, and it takes a long period of time to recover from that. Look, I ain't no professional footballer or anything.
He ain't played for 17 years.
Yeah, you know, but if he's in recovery already, it means he doesn't need surgery. So that just means it's not as bad. It's not that bad. If he needs surgery, then you know it's bad. I'm sure. You know, I know. I've seen doctors try and explain it how it is. You know, you've got 4 different. I think it works out 4 different ways that it is how they class it as a tear, as a damage, and a complete snap. You know, like as I said, mine was completely snapped. But if he's in recovery already, that means to me he doesn't need surgery. So hopefully it's not as bad as what we think, and he could be back before the end of the season. The thing with Ogbonna, you can tell he's the type of player that keeps himself in peak condition. You know, and I think he'll recover, and I think he'll get his place back in the first team, if I'm honest, because he's that type of player. You know, he is a quality centre half, and for me, I feel he's got better as he's got older.
Yeah, no, definitely. Fingers crossed, mate. Jamie Avil there with £5 super chat. Thank you once again, Jamie. You didn't put a comment last time. You could have just put your question up, but no, I really appreciate it, mate. But he says, do you think he will try for Tarkowski, Lingard, and the possibility of Belotti in January rather than wait till the end of the season for contracts run out? Do you know what? I think if we pulled that off, that combination of those 3 players, boy, that would really push us on.
Tarkowski's out of contract in the summer, isn't he? So we might get him for sort of half the price of what we was going to pay for him originally.
Yeah, lose him for nothing, didn't they? Otherwise,
I think Moyes, like I said, rather than because obviously Lingard and Tarkowski, and I think Belotti, I think all their contracts run out in the summer, so we could potentially get them all for free on the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Like Lingard's a must for me. I think he'll fit straight into but he knows the football club, he knows the players, the backroom staff, and I think his personality will just add that little bit extra to the West Ham family. And Belotti as well, I think he'll be a great addition as backup well, he might not even be backup for Antonio. He'll be pushing him for a first team start.
Yeah. And I think if it's a case of we're still in the Europa League, and maybe we're in the Carabao, and we're doing well in the league, and we're in and around that top 4. I think you have to look at it and think, well, you know, we could get him for free in the summer, or we can spend this money now and help push us on to either win a trophy or get Champions League football. Which I think what you
said there, mate, is bang on, and I think that's what they need to do. They look at it as we can get them for free in the summer, or we can pay a little bit now and actually have a brilliant season and go for top 4, go for a trophy. I think
that's exactly it. If you look at them players, like you said, if you can get them on a free in the summer, normally you'd be looking that's good. But that little bit of an investment, you could earn all that money back that you're investing in them 3 players by, like you said, winning a trophy, qualifying for the Champions League. The influx of money that you can get in through doing that will cover the cost of what you're paying out. And these sort of players are the type of players that Newcastle are going to be going after. Players who are on the verge of being out of contract, players are going to know
these players want a relegation battle.
but at the end of the day, unfortunately, money talks.
Yeah, the thing is, it shows.
If we say I think what Scott's saying, if we wait and we say, well, we'll wait till someone get them a free, Newcastle might sneak in and get them. And they think, well, West Ham didn't want me.
Newcastle might come in and go, I will give you 200 grand a week, which we're not going to be able to match.
No. But that's the thing for me.
The thing is, it shows a bit of ambition as well. It shows that you're not content with just having, what so far is turning out to be a really good season. It will show that you've got the ambition to make it a great season.
I think we'll be linked with a lot of the same players as Newcastle.
Oh yeah, it's always any player that any club, probably outside of the your Chelseas, your Cities, United, are going to be linked with the same players. Do you know what I mean? We're going to be linked with similar players to Newcastle, similar players to Spurs, similar players to Arsenal, because we're all in the same sort of category, and Newcastle more because of their financial power. But what I want to see is if these are the players that we're targeting, as soon as that window opens, get it done. Don't dilly-dally, don't wait.
I think we're
January, get the deals across the board, get the players in, ready for the FA Cup 3rd round.
Look, these football players are going to be well paid, whether they're at Newcastle, West Ham, or whatever. So it comes down to ambition of these football players. If you look at it this season so far, if we're in the same positions going into January, where do you want to go? Do you want a relegation battle, or do you want to come? Look, Jesse Lingard, for me, I think, unless something drastic really happens and he does go for the money, I think West Ham's his only place he wants to come. Yeah. I mean, he's liking all the players' posts and videos the club are putting up. His brother keeps putting up how much he loves West Ham. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't join the club in January. I see we've been linked with Simeone's son as well, the striker. Which, I'll be honest, I don't really know too much about him, but if he's half as good as his old man was, then I'll definitely have him. And there'll be other players that we're linked with, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be,
and that's the thing, and I think it would be a massive statement from what Kretinsky's intentions are. If he comes in and goes, right, this money, and from the club and Sullivan, and say, we're bringing this guy in to help push the club on, and straight away January, bam, we bring in those targets. Then, boy, that really gets a lot of faith from the fans that, okay, things are moving in a really good direction now. And it helps quiet a lot of fans that are discontent, and a lot of the fans that are felt, because we feel like, okay, there's progress, there's a way out, and you might quiet those protests and things like that. So it's a win-win, the way I see it. So let's do it. Like, I'm excited to see what happens. But Lingard will be big as well, because Ben Rama's going to go African Cup of Nations. So
exactly. I was thinking that because someone just said there, Giovanni Simeone is lighting up Serie A at the moment, scoring all types of goals for fun. Could be a great signing. He's young, ambitious. If he wants to play in the Premier League, come to London, best city in England.
Play for the Tartan, Diego Simeone.
Well, like Ryan said, if he turns out to be half as good as his old man, we'll have a good player on our hands.
Exactly. And that's it. And Moyes would have done his research on the players. Moyes would have the players coming in are not going to be unknown factors. He's probably looking at every aspect of their every aspect of their attitude, their game, their desire of what they want, because we can't afford to bring anyone in who's going to upset the apple cart.
I mean, look at them stats there that someone's just put on the screen. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And he would be a great addition, I think. As I said, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I know too much about him, because I don't really watch a lot of Italian football. Not like in the old days when it used to be on Channel 4. Do you remember that?
Yeah, mate.
Go, 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 go! Lazio!
What a fucking theme song that was.
Oh, mate, I used to love that. You know? I remember Sunday
On a Sunday, wasn't it?
Sundays, and then it'll be
Sunday
on
free.
Channel 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
mental, but,
Jason Humphrey says, I think Rob Newman, we will surprise a few people of size and not just go for out of contract players. Times are changing. #, come on, you Irons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, there's a lot of people, and probably us as well, and West Ham fans. We're realistic, and we're sort of sitting there thinking, this is going to end one. But we said this last season, and it's carried on, into this season. And are we starting to see a sort of a turn at West Ham where, you know, we are starting to become one of the bigger clubs, one of the big boys, because we're mixing it? Because if you look squad for squad, starting 11 against starting 11s in the Premier League, we've definitely got one of the best.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
When you look at starting 11s, mate, you got to be looking. We're a top 6 side with that starting 11. Now, other fans will sit and disagree, but our starting 11 for me is a top 6 side. You know,
one thing I would say as well. I mean, I don't watch other Premier League clubs' YouTube channels and Twitter and things like that, but I think it'd be very hard to find another squad in this Premier League that is as close as ours.
They
all look like they're friends. They're like all happy, you know what I mean? I know it's when you're near the top of the league, it's always happy at times at football clubs, but they just all seem to. You see them on Instagram. They go out of each other and things like that, and it's just there's such a togetherness with this squad, and it comes with a backroom staff as well. I mean, even videos yesterday that the club put out where Kevin Nolan and Bowen done Mastermind. I mean, the banter them two was having, and the age gap between the two, but it was like they was like two teammates playing together.
Yeah, it's like what you're saying when you look at it. You know, you look at back in the Pellegrini era. You know, you sort of had the Spanish-speaking players going out together, and then the English players out together. This you've seen. You know, you've seen videos. Mickey Antonio out with Pablo Fornals for a bike ride. You know, there's the good. There's no. There doesn't seem to be any cliques. It seems to be everyone's together.
Yeah. Even like the video the club put out, I think it was Declan Rice's Instagram after the win at Villa when he was dancing to the French music with Zuma. And then I mean, Zuma, people could think, oh, he'll come in, he'll have a massive ego because he's won the Champions League and Premier League titles and FA Cups, and he's come from Chelsea. But no, he's just fitted right in, and even like Lingard last year, he could have had the same attitude. But you see videos coming out. Do you remember when they put the egg and flour over Noble and they was all dancing and things like that? Such a togetherness with his squad, and it's great. And as you said, Scott, there's been times over the past few years where you'll have the foreign players sticking with each other and English players sitting away, and then they're not talking and communicating enough. And I just think that comes down to Moyes, the backroom staff, and mainly a massive person is probably Mark Noble as well.
And I think Ben Big makes a good point. The sub celebrating is brilliant as well. Yeah, because you get the on the bench, you know, they're genuinely happy to see us doing well and not, you know, stressing about being on the bench. They're part of the team, and you know, they're loving it. I love seeing David Martin's posts. You know, he loves it. You know, he don't get to play any football, but you know, he's just happy to be a part of the squad. And
but that's the thing. Is like with Martin, he's one of these players. You know, he was brought in as they said, he was brought in as a training keeper, but he ain't dampening the spirit. He's adding to it. You know, he knows his chances of getting a game's very limited, but he's again, you know, I think that's the West Ham fan in him. He's enjoying the ride that the club's on at the minute. He's enjoying, you know, everything's so positive, and he's happy to be involved in it. And
to an extent, Scott, Darren Randolph as well.
Yeah,
you know, he's been pushed out. You know, he's got Fabianski and Areola in front of him now, but he don't see. You always see him in training, laughing and joking, and with the goalkeepers. You know, they're so tight, and you see all the players coming out saying, "This is like a family." This is, and that, when you're in that sort of environment, all the players love going into work each day, and that is why I think we are bringing success to this football club on the pitch at the moment.
Like I say, it does show on the pitch because they'll all, like, you can see it, that they'll run through brick walls for each other during a game, you know. And like I say, I love seeing Zuma. He just don't stop smiling. He's always smiling. brilliant. At 4-0 as well. Like, you know, everyone is playing with a, you know, like I said last week, you know, when we was in the relegation battles, everyone looked like they had the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Yeah,
Phil Brown says it. But like now, it just looks like they're enjoying.
Yeah, Phil Brown says it there. Every club needs characters, and that's 100%, mate. There are some proper characters at this football club, and you know that's what when there's bad times, these characters will get our players through them bad times.
Yeah. It's like what you say. You know, we look at players like Noble, you know, who you know's in that dressing room as club captain, and you know, keeping everyone level-headed, getting in, you know, keeping the banter going with the likes of Nolan and all that. But I think a lot of the way this team is together. Look, Moyes has started all this off. Someone said it in the comment. You know, it's Moyes. You've got to thank for starting this off. But I think Declan Rice has got a big bit to play in that dressing room. Yeah. You know, he seems like he's one of the characters in the dressing room. He seems that he gets on with everyone. He wants to be with everyone. You know, he's like. Where we say what Noble does, for me, seeing things that you see on the social medias and all that, Declan Rice is doing that at the age that he's at as well. You know what I mean? There's no, it's a total inclusive. Whether you're a player in your 30s or whether you're a youngster in your late teens, you know, them characters in the dressing room, the Nobles, the Rices, they're pulling everyone together and keeping everyone together. And again, like you said, happy workplace. Makes life so much easier to go and do the job that you're paid to do, and the guys are doing it at the moment.
Absolutely,
100%, mate.
Absolutely.
I wish we all had jobs like that.
This comment here, you know, Usain Bowe and Fran begin to the floor. That sums it up. The team together. You know, you saw a player. I think Lanzini was it. Lanzini
was 4-0 on the floor
and just got involved, just like get lost. And McGinn went down like a sack of potatoes, and then went straight running over to the referee.
You saw it on Sunday as well. Did you see the behind the scenes when Henderson, when he was giving it to Ogbonna, and then like you see the blood on his face. He tried to apologise, and he had like Zoom and all that, just pushing him away.
Like, Mate, he was like giving it the get up and kicked the ball at him, and he's like, "Oh, the fuck, I'm bleeding!" Like,
Jamie says there, Kevin Nolan brings a lot of spirit to the club as well to connect the management with the players, and that's a great point there because you got to remember Nolan was a player not long ago, and he was club captain. So I think he's been a great addition to West Ham, and you see it. And do you know what I love as well is when the sub goes on or someone comes off the pitch, Nolan's the first to put his arm around them and give them a little kiss and tell them how good they are. Yeah, and that's what players want to feel special, you know. And when they're telling you you're good, you're going to be good.
And the other thing as well with having the likes of Nolan and Stuart Pearce, you've got two experienced former players who were both. Very, very good captains through their careers. You know, Stuart Pearce was a brilliant captain. Nolan again, you know, and it filters down the age groups. Do you get, you know what I mean? Like you've got Stuart Pearce, you've got Kevin Nolan, you've got Mark Noble, and then now you've got Declan Rice. And it like I said, I think that just adds to it all that everyone in there there's a lot of leaders throughout the backroom staff. And then into the playing squad, and you know the characters like Dawson. You know Dawson's another big character. You know he's barking out orders from the moment he steps on the pitch, and nobody's got an ego where they can't. If Dawson shouts at someone because they've not done something right, or Rice has a go at someone, there's no ego to say, "Well, I know better than you." Do you know what I mean? Everyone seems to be listening and taking the criticism, taking it all constructively, and moving us the right way.
I can imagine that there's a lot of players out there at the moment that will be looking in at West Ham from the outside thinking, do you know what? I wouldn't mind being a part of that. You know, and this sounds mad to say, but if there's players out there linked with, say, Manchester United or West Ham at the moment, I think they're going to edge more towards West Ham. And you know, I might be talking absolute bollocks when I say that, but I really do feel that. I feel like West Ham would be a better place at the moment to be than somewhere like Manchester United. And it's crazy to say that because Manchester United is the biggest club in world football.
Yeah, I mean, the Man U squad, it doesn't look like a happy squad at the minute at Man U, does it? So, like you say, you're going to want to go somewhere where you're going to enjoy your football.
Mate,
Okay.
the only time that Man United squad looks at is on a Friday afternoon when they're checking their bank balances, because that's all half that squad's interested in.
No,
And that's the difference. You know,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you at the moment, if you was linked with a Man United, or look, Man United is a massive attraction. Don't get me wrong, but if you wanted to go into a happy atmosphere, family spirit, you're going to choose West Ham.
And the thing is, mate, like you said, is the draw that this club's got at the minute is that everything around the club's happy, everything's positive. The team's playing well. It looks a good, a good unit to be at, and it's London as well. London's a big draw to players now. You know, living in the capital, being in the capital, and the vibes that are going on around there. You know, as much as we, are not lovers of the big city living and stuff like that, other players are, and that's the thing. You know, you're looking at the moment on current form with the second best London side in the league. You know, and European football, all right? Yeah, it's the second tier competition of European football, but it's still European football. There's a draw. There's an attraction.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it when Graham don't know what to say. He just goes, "Yep, that's it."
I mean, like Scott says, I know he said, "Oh, it's only the second tier." When you think other clubs don't take it seriously, like we're filling the stadium for group games, we're taking a couple of thousand away. Like, we're taking our allocation. So like, we're taking it seriously because we're not in it that often. So we're just,
I would say about West Ham and is that no matter what competition we're in, what league we're in, whether it's the Championship, we always sell out home and away. We've got great support, especially travelling support. You know, every away game that goes up on the website, it's selling out straight away. And even home games now, we're starting to sell out near enough every home game. I mean, you look at the atmosphere at the stadium on Sunday. You know, whether you like the stadium or you don't like the stadium, that was emotional on Sunday. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, beating one of the biggest clubs in world football at the moment, who haven't lost for 25 games, and we took it to them after playing on a Thursday night as well, away from home, and we do that. And it weren't no second-rate Liverpool team; that was their full team out, and we've gone there, gone toe-to-toe with them, and we've beat them. You know, and as I said, we're joint second. We're not third. We're joint second in my eyes, and we're 3 points off top. And we're going into November international break. It's crazy. And all these other rival fans and all these London, Tottenham and whatever fans saying, oh, yeah, the bubble's going to burst, the wheel's going to come off. If it does, you know what? We'll still be packing out our stadium, getting behind our team.
Yeah.
And that's it, mate. That's exactly it. You know,
I think even the City game, League Cup game, how many times do you see on telly it's an half empty ground? It was pretty much full.
It was full. It sold out.
Should we go to the old Ask Us Anything?
Yeah. Unless you want to quickly talk about we can skip over it for 2 minutes. The under 23s are kicked out of the stuffed crust pizza, whatever you want to call it, trophy. We've had another Manny Onamanini situation, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Where we've played a player that shouldn't have been playing because he should have been. Well, he was
supposed to be suspended.
It's a shame because our under 23s have been going so well this season, and they're picking up result after result. They've beat Liverpool and United in the last few weeks. They beat Gillingham's first team the other week, and that was the game that obviously they look back on. And was it Elise was suspended? He should have been suspended, but they've played him because they didn't get the notification from the FA and something like that. I don't know, but it's a shame. Yeah. But it's typical West Ham. They've had to fork out 10 grand.
Yeah, but if the notification wasn't sent, then how can West Ham be to blame? Look, granted, West Ham should know. It's the same, similar as I said that Manny Oyemini one. The club should know anyway, but it's.
I'll never forget that with Manny. I mean, we just beat Villa in the quarterfinals of the League Cup, and everyone was buzzing. Yes, semi-final. West Ham ain't been to a semi-final for years. And then you read the newspaper the next day. That's how long ago it was. There was no internet. Well, there probably was internet back then, but
It was on
all
CFAX.
yeah, terrible. But
Yeah.
it's a shame for the under 23s, but you know,
Yeah, I think they'll get over
you
it.
learn from your mistakes, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's it, mate. That's it. Before
So,
we go, ask us anything, do you want to take some comments or?
I wanted to. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
cool.
comments they're part of the anything, but I wanted to because he's asked us a couple of times. We haven't read it out yet. Kieran said, "What do you think about the Sam Johnson rumor? Surely we should be making Areola permanent." Yeah, I don't know, and it could just be a rumor because I would hope that, from what I've seen, that we do make Areola permanent.
Well, I think if Sam Johnson comes in, I think that would probably mean the end for Fabianski. If I'm honest,
It's weird because isn't he signed? He has signed or is signing a 1-year extension on his
But what you've got to remember is, as much as they're probably happy at the moment, you've got players like Randolph who's going to want, especially if Ireland qualify for the World Cup, he's gonna be wanting playing games.
He'll probably
get in football. So
but would Sam Johnson want to come in and be our third choice keeper?
But he wouldn't be. He'd probably. Let's be honest. As much as Fab has been fantastic for us, he's not getting any younger. So maybe you'll see Fab step down to be number 3. He's retired from international football, remember? So he's not got anything now.
But why would we? I don't see why we'd get him to sign an extension to make him a third choice keeper.
They might release Martin and Randolph if that happens.
That's what I'm saying. You've got to look at all the factors in it. You're bringing in another keeper, a younger keeper, and then again you've got 3 good goalkeepers.
Maybe Fabianski might be offered a sort of coaching role as well within the club. But, Nick's asking, is this the new slot now, Thursday night Pint? I thought it was on a Friday. No, it will still be on a Friday, Nick. We're only doing this one tonight because England play tomorrow. They kick off at 7:45. England have interrupted our Friday night Pint show, so we thought we'll enjoy the England game tomorrow. So we'll do this tonight. So this is a one-off special. Thursday is the new Friday, as they say. Only for this week, though. Stick with the Fridays.
Exactly.
What do you want to do? Do you want to go to ask anything?
Yeah. So, Mr. Testosterone says, what do you make of Jeremy Ngakia? It's very, very silly young man, I think.
Yeah, funny enough, this time last week when we was at the watch along at the studios, we actually spoke to a Watford fan, didn't we? And we was talking to him about Ngakia. Yeah. They're not very impressed with him. I think the last game he played was when they lost 5-0 at home to Liverpool. So
yeah, I think he's been sort of in and out of the team. He's had an injury here and there, and I said to the Watford fan and you guys, I think him leaving was the best thing that could have happened to Ben Johnson, because at the time, he was ahead of Ben Johnson in the pecking order, and him leaving has given Ben Johnson that real chance to shine. So. It worked out well in the end for us.
So two more things before we go ask anything. We'll get through them quickly. Ben Johnson looks like he's going to be offered a new deal. He's got a 2-year trigger anyway, not release clause, an extension anyway. So, but they're going to offer him a longer term deal. Everyone's got to be happy with that, ain't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. The way he's developing is fantastic.
100%.
Definitely. And also, speaking of international football tomorrow, Declan Rice obviously pulled out with a virus, I think it was. So I didn't even realise that he actually played the game against Liverpool with that virus as well. So it shows how good he was to play that game, get man of the match. Well, didn't get man of the match, but he played like a man of the match. Still putting a performance like that when he was ill.
I hope he gets better, but I am kind of glad that he'll have that time to rest up now.
I think. Do you know what? I think that Gareth Southgate, if he's turned around and said to Rice, "Look, we need you," I reckon Rice would have stayed. But he's probably thought, do you know what? No disrespect to the two nations we've got, but if England don't get 6 points out of these 2 games, we don't deserve to be in the World Cup.
I don't know, mate. Albania have been playing well of late.
No, yeah.
And now Rice ain't playing. You know who's going to be starting in the midfield.
Yeah. San Marino, I think, have had 10 shots in 30 years. So I think we'll be all right with that one. Look, Declan Rice needs a rest. He's played a lot of football. And look, let's just get him ready for Wolves away next Saturday.
Hammers Mikey actually has got a good comment on the back of that. Does Bowen deserve an England call-up, and will Gareth have the brains to pick him? I'd say yes and no to the second part.
Well, yeah, I'm a bit surprised really because I think Luke Shaw went down as well, and I'm surprised that Aaron Creswell hasn't even been given a mention. But Bowen, I thought was on Southgate's radar.
The
way he's been playing so far this season.
Can't be having more than one West Ham player in the first.
I'll be honest. As much as I love seeing West Ham players play for England, I'd rather not because I don't want them to get injured.
Yeah, that's
the thing. The thing is as well is that you've for the wide players for England, there's a lot of competition.
But he selected? I'm trying. There was some sort of eyebrow raised, but in that position, you think, well, why he could have gone with Bowen over him? I'm trying to remember.
He called up Smith Rowe, which I think is a great call up for England. Yeah. He's such a talent, that boy.
He's been playing really well.
Yeah, I'd love to prize him off of Arsenal one day, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know. The tides are turning in London.
Aston Villa tried.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Bowen on form. The way he's been lately, he does deserve a call up.
Bowen on fire.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You want to see players picked on the form that they have to get their opportunity for England. Unfortunately, with Southgate, he's gone back on what he said he was going to do and pick. He doesn't no longer pick players on form. He just picks the same players. As I said before, with the previous squad, he picks a Patrick Bamford and a Jesse Lingard when they're not playing well, but leaves them out of a squad when they're on fire. So,
did you?
He's a fucking idiot.
Danny Dyer was in the crowd on Sunday. I can imagine there would have been a few fans probably thinking, "Should we sing it? Shouldn't we? Let's see what happens." But I don't know. It would have been. Imagine if he would have sung it. That would have been
fucking weird.
Someone's in the crowd and the crowd are singing it. And they turn their camera and there's Danny Dyer singing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If he sang it, I'd put him in a Paul Scholes category.
Now imagine he said it. He went, "Bowen's on fire," and he's chapping up me fucking daughter, Danny Dyer. But yeah, I mean. Let's go on to ask us anything.
Do you guys complain about West Ham clips? No,
no. We all love West Ham.
We love it.
Twitter need to free him, mate. That's
I like West Ham clips. I think it's brilliant.
Twitter can clamp down on copyright so quick, but they can't do it with racism and homophobia.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Listen, I think. The way West Ham clips these and the following that he's getting with the stuff that he does, it doesn't harm the brand of the Premier League. Let him have them highlights. You're not going to get people tuning away from watching the official highlights to go and watch West Ham clips. He's having a laugh. It's a comedy sketch.
He didn't even post them right to the account that got suspended, because what he would do, and he was smart, is post it to these secondary accounts, and then share it through that one. But they've gone out of their way to look at the geezer and to shut him down. And
thing is,
it's just bad-minded.
It's a bit of harmless fun. I mean, the players watch it. I've seen Declan Rice tweet about it, Antonio tweet about it. Laura Woods was obviously mentioning it the other day. It's a shame that
obviously Simon Jordan weren't.
Yeah, what a fucking idiot he is.
Sports Stats wants to know, is Di Canio a legend or a cult hero? We sort of spoke about this last week, didn't we? I mean, for me, he's a legend in my eyes.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, like cult heroes are players like Tevez, who had one season with us and all that, but
Colton
Cole's a cult hero. Yeah, you're right, man.
Colton Cole's a cult hero. For me,
Di Canio, we spoke about Antonio being now classed as a legend because he's our leading Premier League goal scorer. Di Canio was, and there's a lot of good memories. There's some bad memories around Di Canio because of obviously the team that got relegated, but he brought a lot of good memories as well. And for me, you got to sort of class him as a legend.
100%. I mean,
and he still really loves the club as well. Really loves the club.
He's an absolute genius, and people can say about Dimitri Payet. Payet was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but Di Canio for me was to turn up and watch him, and he dragged us through games. You know, he would entertain the crowd, get the crowd up, and people would argue and say, yeah, Pint dragged us through games as well, which I agree. But Pint at that time had better players around him than what Di Canio did back then. I mean, we had some good players back then. Di Canio was just a joy to watch. And I remember the one game that sticks out for me was the Arsenal game at home, when Arsenal were one of the best teams in the league at the time, and he just Adams and Keown just took the piss out of them.
Was that the one when he turned them both inside out for the second goal?
Yeah. Jamie J. Sam, thanks Ryan for having me on the fan cam last Sunday. Really enjoyed it. I'll be back on next time I'm over and the audio's working. Yeah, do you know what? We literally, mate, I'll say it now. I apologise for the audio. We did. The thing is, with the equipment we use, we can't tell sometimes until we listen to them back after. And we always test the first couple out, and they sound all right, so we let it go. And yeah, we was all gutted because there were some great fan cams. But thank you so much for stopping and giving us your time. And next time you come over, just say, I'm Jamie J. You messed up my fan cam, and you'll be pushed right to the front of the queue, and we'll make sure you have priority.
Yeah,
you get.
I think we've come up with what we think is a foolproof plan.
Yeah, we think it's a dodgy wire that's connected to the thing, so hopefully we won't have them issues anymore.
Hopefully Nicky buys the thing I suggested, which means we can actually plug earphones into it and listen while we're filming, so we can catch these.
Trust me, as disappointed as the people that queued up and probably angry as they were, we were just as angry that them things fell through.
Yeah, it's soul crushing, man. It's soul crushing.
I mean, you know, we get, you know, you guys who come on, especially those who stand in the queue and when it's freezing cold, you give us your time, and you know we're happy to stand there and film for as long as, you know, if the queue is 20 people long, it's 20 people long. We want to get everyone's views across. And, you know, you guys give us a time, and it really annoys us when something like that happens, because, you know, we feel like we're letting you guys down because we can't get your opinions out there. So, you know, trust us, I was very pissed off, very pissed off. And so were the others, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Nick saying he's a Spurs fan, but you four lads and Nicky are top guys. I love coming on here when I can. Do you know what? I know we have our rivalry with Spurs, but when you get decent Spurs fans like that, they're more than welcome to come on the channel, because they don't spam and I don't mind banter. I can take banter all day long, but they don't. But thank you so much, Nick. And I think I'll say it for all. As a Spurs fan, you're welcome on here anytime.
What a top guy with the amount of, you know, shit we give Spurs, you know, and he sticks around. So
it's always nice when, like, you get good comments from opposition fans.
Probably turn out it come out that Nick's undercover Millwall fan. No, I'm joking. No, that's what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? You can have the rivalry with football clubs, banter and everything. You know, we can banter Millwall, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. And as long as it is banter and it doesn't get personal and things like that, I'm happy with that all day long.
Yeah. That's it.
100%, mate. 100%.
We have a fun fact here, Graham. You like fun facts, didn't you, Graham? Look at him trying to read it before I say it. Look at the guy's going, look, 10 to the dozen. Fun fact, Yarmolenko is unable to do the Okie dance because he can't put his right foot in or his right foot out. Did you know that, Gray?
I did not know that. But I'm not going to dig him out because my right foot's just for standing on, as you all know. But then I'm not a professional footballer, so.
Steve wants to know any news on Friday Night Pint live, two lads. I think we're going to look to do it sort of before the end of this season. So sort of probably.
So about April, May time.
Yeah, March, April time. I think May's going to be a bit busy for us, Gray, with all the Premier League trophy parades and the European trophy parades and the FA Cup trophy parades and the. No, I'm joking, by the way. No, but we look to do one sort of in the new year, definitely, because and this one will be bigger and better. We learned a lot from the last one, and we know what we've got to do better the next one. And just get on the piss again, basically. More time at the bar, I say.
Yeah,
Dan, make sure you wear a belt next time, all right?
Yeah. I will. Don't want to. And I'll watch out for Ryan's trainers.
Yeah, fucking hell. No, do you know what? I don't mind. I didn't mind that because it reminds me of such a good night I look at them and there's a little bit of a stain still on there, but it's worth it. Chris is just saying, I just battered my mate 10-0 at pool with 2 7-ball games. Who's the best West Ham fan TV bar sports player?
I think we need to find out one night. I think we need a little pool tournament.
Do you know what? I used to be all right at pool.
I
Like
like
that. Better at darts. You weren't bad at darts.
Won a few local competitions back in the day, but not. I'm not really good at darts. Don't play darts that much.
Do you know what? That could be quite an even matchup. When we're saying bar sports, what we're looking at: pool, darts,
table tennis.
I think we should have a little. I think we should have a little tournament, little competition.
I tell you what, there's a place over Lakeside. I think there's a couple at London as well. But they do like the axe throwing in there and the darts and the. Maybe we should have a night there.
Yeah, be an interesting one. That could be a
you know what?
Night out.
The funny thing about that axe throwing thing, right? My mate went there with a group of his mates for like one of their birthdays, and he was telling me that you're not allowed to consume any alcohol before or during the axe throwing, which is understandable. But they never knew that. So they went there, they checked in. The woman went, "Oh, you've got about a 15-20 minute wait. Just go and wait at the bar." They went to the bar. They ordered some drinks. The woman come over after watching them drinking, saying, "You can't play now. You've had a drink." And they was like, well, "Hang on a minute. You told us to go to the bar." So yeah, but I reckon that'd be a good laugh. Maybe we should organise that. Don't forget though, next Thursday we've got Ghostbusters night.
Yeah. We'll.
Who see the new trailer? The new trailer.
I haven't seen. The trailer's
gives me goosebumps. It gives me.
Dan, you might like the new trailer, mate. I did share it. I'm sure.
I did. I know you shared it, and I saw it. I thought, I don't know. I haven't liked the trailers so far. I'm just going to wind myself up some more.
Honestly,
I'll give it a watch.
It was hearing Bill Murray's voice that brought it all back.
Same, mate.
If he's not in it for most of the film, it's a failure in my eyes. That's all I'm saying. That's the only way they can win me over. A lot of Bill Murray.
I think because I noticed as well that he had a wedding ring on. Now, does that mean? And I know Sigourney Weaver's in the film. Does that mean they're married?
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be a nice little touch if they had that. So we'll see. I think we'll do a little review or something. well, maybe on Friday Night Pint we can give our thoughts to people and share it. We just answer this question from our moderator. The Olympics. No, you just want to say any content coming up on Dan Damo and Jace. Yeah, we just had a meeting yesterday whether I was filming this promo stuff or the West Ham Fan TV. So we're definitely planning some bits and pieces for sure. So I think Sunday we're going to plan a load of stuff.
Well, I've got one here. I think this one.
Need to put a comment up.
Yeah, I need to put a comment up.
Hang on, let me do this one first, Scott. I think this one's aimed at Dan. And I think Dan is going to have to buy the first round on this one. Are you shouting all the West Ham Fan TV subscribers a drink at your Christmas party? Dan? Have you got nearly 61,000? Well, that's if it's £1 a drink. If it's...
Tap water's all around. Tap water's
the hour.
Listen, I hope you like a nice, good tap water. Put some ice in there, maybe a little straw, umbrella. Sort you out.
Go on then, Scott.
Gray. Take Platinum says, fun fact, I said hello to Graham a couple of years ago in the Sun Pub in Romford. He blanked me.
I know exactly how you feel, Tate.
Big time Graham, eh?
I do apologise, Tate. I wouldn't intentionally blank anybody.
Wow, big. What do you do that for?
I do apologise. If you see me in there again, come up and say hello. I won't blank you this time.
Why did you do it?
I honestly would not intentionally blank anyone, so I do apologise for that.
Why did you blank him, Graham?
I don't know. I don't.
So you don't even remember him now. You blank him, and then you don't remember him. Wow.
I don't know if I didn't hear him or what. I don't know.
He's down a bit deaf. No, we'll let him off a bit.
I don't know if I didn't hear him, but no, I've never intentionally blanked anyone, so I do apologise.
Graham is a man of the people.
ATM says, have you lads ever been WWE? I went last week up London. It was one of the best nights out I've been on. Nothing but laughs and drinks all night.
You can you get on the drinks while you're sitting down? Watch it. I went to back in the day. I went to Insurrection. I think it was when they came over and it had the Rock and everyone.
Yeah,
was there? You was at that? Yeah, it was brilliant.
Where Nicky went that was about 2001.
Was that where Ogbonna done the People's Elbow on Triple H?
Was that cool?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was.
I think I'm going to go back further. I went to SummerSlam at Wembley Stadium when the main event was Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog.
Well, I'm going to go one step further than you, Scott, and I went to the Battle Royal in '91 at the Royal Albert Hall when the British Bulldog won it, and Andre the Giant come down to help him because he was getting attacked by earthquake and typhoon.
God blimey!
Well, there you go. I think Ryan wins that. But I went with my cousin sometimes gets tickets to the live shows, right? And so I went. I've been a couple of times. I see John Terry was there as well, and we was in there, right? And we was having like free bar and was getting on the drinks, and it's like, okay, we got to go in and watch the wrestling. And the wrestling, it was so crap. Like they had it in the O2, loads of empty seats, and it was just like, you know, where it's not on telly, so they don't really put any effort in. And I was thinking, I wish we didn't leave the fucking bar. Like I would have loved to have stayed in there and got on it. Like, but yeah, so I don't. Even Raw, it weren't as
when I was younger, it was always my dream to watch wrestling in America because I thought that's where you got to watch it. And you know what? I went to the first time I went to Las Vegas. I think SummerSlam was in LA, and then they had Monday Night Raw in Las Vegas the day I was landing. So I booked a couple of tickets. I thought, look, if my flight gets delayed and I don't make it, I don't make it. But everything went perfect. Got there in time, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever been to it. They were just, I think the English fans are more into it than what the Americans are.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get one and it's not as good. I went to WrestleMania. I remember I went to WrestleMania Revenge Tour when we was teenagers, me and my cousin and that. And there was this fucking person with a sign, holding up a sign. And I was going, get a fucking sign, Dad. I can't see. Get a fucking, remember that? Because people used to have the signs. And it was like the Undertaker match. Let's get a fucking scream for ages, right? And they pulled the sign and looked like it was a little girl. I was like, oh shit. Fucking, she looked like she was about to cry. Well, listen, I wasn't as giving her abuse, but I was saying, why she got a fucking sign?
Is an interesting one. Following on, Kai saying, following on from that poor man losing his finger in Genk, what's the weirdest thing you've ever noticed while watching West Ham? I think the weirdest thing I've ever noticed was that Midu was pretending to be a football player when he come on. But yeah, I'm trying to think the weirdest thing.
West Ham constantly getting knocked out by teams from lower divisions.
Nah.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, to remember? I mean, look, we've seen fucking plenty of dildos over at West Ham, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking plenty of them lately. Yeah, in terms of weird, nothing compares to that. Nothing in that category.
That was crazy, wasn't it? That took limbs in the away end to the.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like
literally, yeah, limbs. Apparently, he's got his finger back on. It's reattached now. So, well done to that bloke. I'm happy for him. Fucking poor bastard. You know what? I have to give it to Spurs fans, right? I have to give them a bit of credit. They were singing, I think, at one of their away games. West Ham lose fingers everywhere they go.
Yeah,
which didn't.
Oh yeah, I see that as well. All 5 of them singing.
Yeah,
someone's saying Moyes having a good game was weird. Benny McCarthy in a football shirt.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Arsenal's pants coming down.
Yeah, Benny McCarthy, though, when he was like, because he was well overweight when he played for us, then he looked like when you see a fan who's got a shirt on about 2 sizes too small.
Paul Scholes wanted to munch on that finger.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably.
This is the best one. This is the weirdest thing that I think we can all agree on that we've all seen at football. Nicky there for
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it.
Well, do you remember when we first started this? How many times like Nick would phone you up and go, "Can someone grab an SD card on the way to the game?" How many SD cards did we have to pick up?
batteries?
Yeah,
Some
Yeah,
batteries.
SD cards and batteries.
Jamie wants to know what player that is still playing would you bring back to West Ham?
I mean, it's a bit too late for Payet now. I'm going to say Nautovic because I think he really fits our system, and Moyes really got the best out of him. So I would say Nautovic, and I'm very surprised that we didn't go get him considering how cheap he was. I don't know how well he's doing over there, but just on the fact that he really suits us, I'd say Nautovic.
Lingard for me.
Oh yeah, Lingard. But yeah, I mean that's obvious. Lingard aside, and Nautovic.
He's still playing.
Yeah, I know, but it's like we're sort of that's like the obvious answer, isn't it? And we probably are going to bring him back. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of players we've let go. I don't know. I think just for sentimental reasons, I want James Tompkins back just to be part of the fun.
Yeah. How nice would it have been if he could have been here, like at least for Noble's last season?
I'm gonna just for Noble's last season and just bring him back. Just bring him back. Bring back. I'm gonna start that. That's a campaign.
Yeah, there's not too many players with they've sort of gone and are doing sort of really well. I mean, Haller's doing really well.
That's the one. If you look at form, Haller's the one you got to bring back.
Oh, yeah. Don't. Nicky ain't here tonight.
He's
going to pop in, isn't he?
I'm sure he's somewhere in Egypt.
For me, that's the thing in it that you look at Haller, right? He don't fit the setup of the side, but Payet and Arnautovic, I know the way they left wasn't wasn't a good thing, but for player wise, they're both two fantastic talents.
I'll tell you, it wouldn't be a bad shout in this team, in this squad. Hernandez,
yeah.
Chicharito.
I don't think he really fits Moyes'.
Moyes to get the best out of him. Moyes have turned him into.
He had him. Moyes had him, though, didn't he? Remember that first time Moyes had him, and he played him as like a target man.
Yeah, different era.
But that was because all we had, Dan. We didn't have anyone else.
No. We were in a relegation battle as well.
Yeah, but this was in the cup. He had him up front. I remember he was just playing long balls. And
Michael and Roberto. I don't even think David Moyes could get the best out of Roberto.
Are we just trying to get a rise out of Nicky tonight? What's going on?
The people know he's not here tonight, so they're going to wind him up.
Yeah, but then you'll just see like the screen going, and he go, "Oh look, he's logging in."
Josh Cullen playing well over it. I think is he Belgium or Holland playing well over there?
Yeah, he plays for Anderlecht, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Someone said Enna Valencia, Ravel Morrison.
See now, Morrison. When he left, I would have him back. Unfortunately, I won't have Morrison back now because he's not.
I think it's too late for him. It's funny. David says Haller playing in the Dutch league is his level. He's playing in the Champions League and he's the top scorer in the Champions League. Somewhere we're aspiring to get to.
I've seen a few shouts for Tony Martinez, and he's sort of smashing it at the moment. Yeah,
interesting. Reece Oxford. I think he's doing.
He's doing well.
He's doing well in Germany, isn't he?
It's mad though how certain players leave the club, and like Perez, someone said there, Lucas Perez, he done good last season. Yeah. Caleri, weren't it? Went on and scored a hat-trick in.
He was fucking. Yeah, you definitely have Nordvite back. Richard said about Nordvite. You'd have him back.
West Ham though, Scott.
Reece Oxford or Dean Garner. I'll just quickly say Dean Garner. Yeah, I think. As much as it didn't work out really in West Brom, I think. I still think you'd do well at West Ham.
ATM wants to know what's the best takeaway you've had in a while.
What's the best takeaway you've had? I mean, usually with a takeaway, you have your regular takeaway, didn't you?
I'll tell you what, it's not so much a takeaway, but I went out for a meal last week to a restaurant in Brentwood called the Giggling Squid. Honestly, it's a Thai restaurant. Some of the best food I've ever had. I ordered this meal called it was like melting beef, and it's like a bit of beef come up, and honestly, you put it in your mouth, it was like butter. It was so nice. Honestly, I enjoyed every single bit. And you know when you pay the money at the end and you got a little smile on your face, you're thinking, "Oh, that was worth every single penny." Beautiful restaurant as well. You know what? I was surprised. Like Brentwood was dead. Saturday night in Brentwood, everything was shut. It was weird. It was weird to see, but yeah. So I wouldn't. It's not a sort of takeaway. It's a going out date night.
That's it.
I choose my usual Chinese.
I ain't had a Chinese from the nice Chinese shop for ages, and we ain't had a curry for a while. We had a curry the other night, and when you don't have your normal takeaways for a good couple of months, and then you have them, and they just tasted. Yeah,
when I was dog sitting for Scott the other week, I had a rather nice pie and mash.
I thought he was gonna say I ate the dog, and it was lovely.
I went pie and mash near Scott's up there, Broadway, innit?
Yeah,
I ain't had a bit of pie and mash for
ages.
I ain't had a nice bit of pie and mash for ages. I might do that this weekend. That's me international break. That's me Saturday sorted.
Do you know the funny thing is, right? Graham went to that pie and mash, and he's only dog sat for me for 2 days. I've only been at pie and mash once. I've lived here, I think, 11 years.
I just really fancy pie and mash. I phoned Scott. I went, is there a pie and mash shop near you? He went, yeah, just go out the Broadway. He went, it's about 5 minutes, park around the back. I was like, I'm going.
Yeah. It's nice. It is nice in there. I'll just forget it. I forget it's there. I really do.
Yeah, it was quite a bit more, mate. Lovely.
Yeah. Everyone loves a bit of pie and mash. But
Robbins is the best. I agree, Darren.
What should we do? Go another 10 minutes? Because it is a school night. I keep forgetting. I'm thinking to myself, I have a nice lay-in tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow. But it's not. It's Friday. I've got to go to work.
Oh, mate, I've got to open my yard up in the morning, so I've got to be in well early.
James is saying, Ryan, how was your local game? Graham, you was there with me, mate. East Thurrock. They won the other night, Gray, 2-0.
See, you two turning up. You put them off.
What, not the Leatherhead game? Is it Leatherhead one or?
I don't know, mate, but they won.
Yeah.
But
they did when we went.
Yeah, when we went, they lost 6-0. But it was a good day, non-league football.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be over there a couple more times.
Yeah, it was a good stand-up, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, not as good as us, but
yeah, it's nice you can take your beer out to the side of the, had a lovely burger, didn't we, Roy?
Yeah, lovely, mate. Kai saying, what are your memories of watching Maradona? Did you ever get to watch him? Did you ever get to watch him on TV during Napoli days? Best ever legend in the game. I'm 21, so I can't remember. I'll be honest, mate. My only memories really are bad memories of Maradona, as when he put England at the World Cup. But I never got to see him play live, obviously. Listen, I've seen him, highlights of him and clips of him over the years, and yeah, he was a genius. One of the greatest, if not the greatest. That's a debate that different eras and generations of players, but Maradona was definitely one of the best. But in my eyes, it'll always be that cheating bastard that put England at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Dirty.
No, I think he, like, when you watch videos of him, if you put him in today's game, it'd still be one of the best in the world. It'd still be, But like Ryan says, his first goal in the '86 World Cup against us, you can't deny. Like, he's basically taking on the whole team. But for me, he'll always be a little cheat.
Yeah,
that's taking nothing away from his ability. Like, he was.
Wasn't that the second goal when he ran it all the way through?
I can't remember which way round it was.
I think it was the second goal, but
sorry.
You can always have that debate: Pele, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo. I just think in my generation, our generation now, just appreciate that we got to see Messi and Ronaldo together. I mean, there's players that you won't even get a mention in, but players, one of the best players I've ever seen growing up. He never ever played for West Ham, but I was sort of obsessed with watching him as a football player from the 60s and 70s. Was George Best. And I just remember that game and I always remember it, where I think he scored 6 goals and he dribbled it around the goalkeeper, put it in the back of the net and sort of leant on the post to say, like, sorry, I'm that good. I'm just apologising for being that good.
That's the thing. There's been, you look at this, like you said, the modern day era is Ronaldo, Messi, but you go back the likes of Bergkamp, You know, players like that were just phenomenal types of players, and they don't even get put in the same category as your Messis and Ronaldos. You know, but they were world-class, top-quality, talented players.
We got, like, with Maradona in the 80s, he was at Napoli, you know, and Napoli were like a mid-table side. He basically dragged them to a UEFA Cup, and they won Serie A the next year.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, they won the UEFA Cup and Serie A the next year, and that was, you know, before they got him, they were, you know, sort of mid-table side, top half. But he took them to the title.
He basically did for Napoli what Ronaldo done for Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Bobby Moore as well. I mean, do you know what? I've seen so many clips of the World Cup final in '66, but I've never actually sat there and watched the whole game. And it was only, I think it was just during the last tournament, they put the whole game on in colour. And I sat there and watched the whole game. And you don't realise actually how good Bobby Moore was. Like, people that watched him week in, week out knew, but our generation, but just to see how good he actually was, you know, he's definitely up there as one of the best to ever.
Well, I mean,
not only put on a West Ham and England shirt, but just to play football.
It's even with the fourth goal that, you know, he set it up with a pass downfield. But even defending that, you know, you're into the last few seconds of a World Cup final. Most players would have just smashed it into Rowe's head. But in his own area, he chests it down, brings it out, pinpoint pass up the pitch. How many defenders would have be that cool in the dying seconds of a World Cup final?
That's it. And that's what set him apart from so many other players, especially defender wise. You know, and the thing is, I think if you're remembered through time as a defender, you've got to be something special, because it's the strikers, it's the attackers that steal all the headlines, steal all the highlights. You know, you look through history, the players that you remember the most are always attacking players, and you know, to be a defender and to be remembered, it shows how good of a player that you are.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, we unfortunately, none of us here got to see Bobby Moore in his prime. And it would have, you know, it'd have been an absolute pleasure to see. I mean, we grew up learning about Bobby Moore, and that's one thing I think that generations have to do is, as the generations go on and on, is teach our kids, our grandkids about the players that were there for West Ham and things like that, the legends of the club. And when I was a kid, the first people I knew was Moore, Hurst and Peters, because of what they've done during the World Cup for England and West Ham in the 60s. And you watch, as people are saying in the comments, he was a Rolls Royce. You know, you could put Ferdinand, Van Dijk, Maldini, mix them all into one, and I don't think you'd get close to what Bobby Moore, how good he actually was.
Yeah, 100%. Who put Jane's comment up?
I just put that up. I thought that would be a nice comment. So yeah, do give it a thumbs up if you can.
Thank you very much.
Lisa,
it's Debden Broadway, because I'm out in Loughton, so that's the closest pie mouth shop to me. Sorry.
Matt Powell says, before we end the show, can we raise our glass of Remembrance Sunday? I haven't got anything in my glass.
I've drunk mine.
Yeah,
we done it was quite nice at work today, because all the people that were working like in the office and the yard and some of the drivers, we all went out and we paid our respects, 2-minute silence, and it was it's one of them days that, as we was just talking about heroes there, I mean, we talk about footballers as heroes. They're the real heroes. You know, they're the ones that sacrifice their lives to give us the opportunities that we've got in life. And they should never, ever, ever be forgotten.
100%, mate. Yeah, 100%. You know, that's it. It's like you said, it's why we've got the freedoms that we have.
Yeah.
Someone said, are we doing anything like Remembrance Sunday? No, I think we won't be doing any shows or anything. I mean, we'll be paying our respects and things like that, but people do their own things on Remembrance Sunday. And Chris is saying there, I put a video up today of an old boy that they interviewed. I think it was in 2020 last year, and it's emotional watching it. So if you go on my Twitter and have a look at it,
is that I can't think of his name. He went over to the D-Day Memorial this year. Is that the guy?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the same
one.
There
was a story about it. I think because of COVID, he couldn't go when it opened, and he finally got out there. And I remember watching it on the news, watching him. As he turned around and said, he's standing there at a memorial where so many of his friends that he got joining the army died. And people say he's the lucky one because he turned around and said, I don't deserve to be here. All these people that sacrifice what they sacrifice, and I think it gets overshadowed a lot nowadays.
Yeah, there was one sentence in that video that he said, and it was that my generation saved the world. And it's mental. And as I said, we can sit here and talk about football players all day long. They're the real heroes. When you talk about heroes, they're the real heroes out there, and God bless them all.
100%.
Absolutely.
Anything else anyone want to say? Anything else before we leave? It's 9:10 on a full day.
Well, quick score predictions tomorrow. We've got no West Ham, so quick score predictions on the England game. What
Who are we playing again?
Albania.
Oh, 6. No, Rice ain't playing. 0-0. No, joking. It'll be a 3 or 4-0. Be 1-0.
I'm going to say 3-0.
Harry Kane will get a couple tomorrow. I think England just get the job done. Just get us. Do you know what? I think these qualifiers, if they're looking to do the World Cup every 2 years, then this is my feeling. Teams like the top nations like England, Spain, Italy, Holland, all the big nations don't have to qualify. Let them automatically go in the World Cup because we know they're going to be there. And then let all the smaller teams like Scotland, Ireland, Wales, let them battle it out to get into the World Cup, because it's frustrating for these like England, like playing all these games all the time. And if they're going to do it every 2 years, automatically put us in it. You need the big nations in there anyway for the numbers and the money. So England playing San Marino, it's pointless.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, right? You say let the big teams qualify. It weren't that long ago that Italy didn't qualify, Holland didn't qualify.
Yeah, I know that, mate. But let's be honest, the tournaments need that.
But but all you're doing is creating a Super League.
Yeah, but then that's why they changed. That's why they changed the qualification, didn't they? So, certainly for the Euros.
That's why they brought the Nations League in, to try and make it more competitive for the lower teams. And I think there's no coincidence you've seen this Nations League brought in, and the smaller sides are looking not as shabby as they used to be. They're still getting beat, but they're a lot more organised and they're better coached now.
Yeah, but if they're talking about the World Cup every 2 years, I don't know what's going to happen with the Euros. I mean, if they're going to get the Euros, that means that it's going to be like a tournament every summer.
Yeah.
I think
for me, having the World Cup every 2 years just completely dilutes it.
The thing is that, like, the World Cup every 4 years makes it more special, but it is all about money, unfortunately. But before I go, I've got a quick little plug, because I like a plug. Crossed Hammers, as it's coming up to Christmas, they've got a great DVD selection on their website. So crosshammers.com. There's a tin you can buy of every single season review, even ones that the club didn't release. You can get it. If you're looking for a Christmas present for your family, or if you want to treat yourself at Christmas, get on it. Crosshammers.com. I've got the tin upstairs. It's so good sitting back and watching some of the old, especially in the early 90s when I started first watching West Ham, and early 2000. You can relive I wouldn't say glory days, but the good old days of the bowling ground. And it's good. So get on there, crosshammers.com. Once again, that's crosshammers.com. And I can't show you the tin because he's upstairs, but I'll have it on here next time. Next time we do a show, next Friday night Pint, I'll have the tin with me. I'll have the tin and the DVDs. And Chris is saying, and what a Facebook page Cross Hammers is as well. It's a good banter page.
Yeah, good.
It's not one for the snowflakes. Just put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. But my score prediction for tomorrow before we go was 1-0. Boring 1-0 win.
All right. We'll see.
I am actually on commission for these DVDs as well. So if you put Ryan 50 in the promo code, no, I'm only joking. I don't get no money. It's helping out a good friend who does a lot of work.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything you boys want to say before we go?
No, mate. I think you've wrapped that up nicely.
Anything you want to plug? You want to sell, Dan? Got any mates that want to sell anything? Someone selling an old bike or something?
Just our own merch. In the league down.
Yeah. Right, Ryan's the only one wearing it tonight.
Oh yeah. Usually I'm the only one that ain't wearing it.
Mate, my washing machine's broke. We have to keep taking all my washing over the mother.
He's gone old school. Washing it outside in the bucket.
Yeah, it's I had to run it over the mother-in-law. She's had to do it for me. So I've seen a couple of comments about the West Ham Feed TV glasses. I think Nicky's got some left, and he right. I'm sure he said he's got a few. So it might be.
I think we was down to the final box. So
yeah.
When he's back, Nicky's back on Sunday or Monday. I think he is. But yeah, we'll speak to him and bring it up next week. Save that question for next week. Graham, have you got anything to say, my friend?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we?
You sure? You sure there's nothing that you want to get off your chest? We're all here for you.
No, I'm all right.
Well, yeah, last question, Knight. Just quickly, Gray. This is aimed at you, mate. When's the West Ham Fan TV OnlyFans coming out?
Cool, bloody hell. We lose subscribers if I do that.
Hello, Gray. I've seen your ass.
Well, we are getting on the TikTok.
It's like chew back of a bullet hole.
Chase is setting up the TikTok.
So we'll be on all the social media platforms then when this comes about.
Yeah. So if you're into that, you can find us there very soon. I have to chase him up on that.
But look, we'll leave that there. Look, it's international game tomorrow, so we won't be on tomorrow night. This is the Thursday night special, but we'll be back to normal next week on a Friday. I messaged Ryan months ago. He took me out of class. I don't know if that was me. That might have been Nicky, but if you message us again, I'm sure we'll get Nicky to sort. I think Nicky's promised loads of people glasses. He never gets back to them, but
don't worry. It's not. You don't feel like you're annoying us if we've said we'll do something and got around to doing it. No. It's just because we've got so many things that sometimes we forget. So don't be afraid to chase stuff down.
Oh yeah, chase it up. Chase it up, mate. We like it when people get on our case and that because it reminds us because we get so many random messages sometimes. Everything gets lost or someone will open a message and you forget about it and that. But yeah, no. As I said, we'll be back next Friday, but we'll have things coming up during the week in the build up to Wolves next Saturday. 3:00 kickoff. Can you believe that?
I know.
That's a rare treat.
Crazy.
It's unheard of.
Yeah, so we'll be back. We'll have a couple of videos probably going up over the weekend. But yeah, look, great show tonight, boys. Really enjoyed it. I wish it was Friday because I wouldn't have to get up for work in the morning, but it is what it is. As I said, Thursday's the new Friday, but we'll be back to our normal slot next Friday. And keep subscribing to the channel as well. We're coming up to 61,000 now. So we're 9,000 away from the 70K. So get us to 70K.
Yes.
I think if we get to the 70K before Christmas, Graham will start up his OnlyFans. That's a problem.
He still won't add his eyebrow threading from the bloody 20K.
Subscribe for that. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all that. But boys, one thing left to say. Come on, England.